with Andy Ruiz winning against one Anthony Joshua. Do tell.
Well, he did look past his opponent.
Who? Anthony Joshua did.
He looked past his opponent.
Anthony Joshua.
He was looking at facing Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder.
You're right.
He took Andy Ruiz lightly and paid for it.
Did he just take him lightly, or was the pressure on him? Think about this. His first time in America. He's getting ready to face Gerald Big Baby Miller. In 5 weeks or 6 weeks before the fight, he tests positive for steroids, PEDs, and any other performance-enhancing drug you can think of. And now he has 5 weeks left. He could either cancel it or fight someone else. And they pick Andy Ruiz. And now he has 5 weeks to train for a new opponent.
Yes, there was a time pressure. There was the pressure to perform.
Perform, yes.
First time in the U.S.?
In the U.S. They brought a sports psychologist in there.
So, a lot of things were against him, but there was a lot of things for him, too.
Yeah, he does a lot of attributes and assets that would help him win. But
he was heavily favored.
What they're saying now as far as the rematch goes, 2-1 odds that Anthony Joshua will get his revenge in the rematch against Andy Ruiz. Do you believe that Anthony Joshua has the upper hand in the rematch?
I do not believe he has the upper hand.
Okay, do tell.
I believe they are evenly matched.
Okay.
After seeing Andy Ruiz's performance in the ring.
Yeah.
Seeing Anthony Joshua's performance in the ring.
That is true. In the ring performance.
They were evenly matched.
It's hard to disagree with that. It's hard to disagree.
And I don't know what Anthony Joshua can do to get an edge on Andy Ruiz.
The edge part, I don't know, because as you say, Andy Ruiz actually has a lot of confidence. He's a confident young man, and he's the champion.
The champion.
But what I can say for Anthony Joshua is that he did not execute the game plan that I had for him, and it surely wasn't the game plan his coaches had. I would have to say his trainers, because he is 6'6", the bigger, taller man, and he didn't use a jab.
You got to bring the jab. He left the jab at home.
He left the jab at home, and when you leave the jab at home, what happens? You get knocked around, wobbled.
Andy Ruiz was able to come inside.
Yes. Oh, goodness.
He was able to come inside and put those hands on him.
He put those hands. That left, bop. And that wobbled him, and that's all she wrote. Just kept going down and smiling. As my cousin says, once they see you smiling in the ring that way, you're in trouble. You're not supposed to be smiling at nobody in the ring.
Supposed to be mean mugging.
Supposed to be mean mugging. And you in here smiling. You're in trouble. The referee tells you this and that. Now, there's other stories that Eddie Hearn pressured him into fighting because of all of the money that was on the line, and that he should be able to beat one Andy Ruiz, and that Anthony Joshua's father did not want him to fight because he saw that his son didn't seem like himself. And so after the fight, I made a video about it, and it has over 350,000 views, and people are debating, did Anthony Joshua's father really not want him to fight? Because we definitely can tell one thing, he was trying to get to Eddie Hearn and put those hands on him.
So let's have another scenario, a hypothetical.
Okay.
What if Anthony Joshua wins the fight, just like everyone thought he was going to?
Okay.
Are we even having this discussion?
We're not having this discussion because it's a non-thing. It'll be like one of those page 6. His dad didn't want him to fight. He was upset, but his dad would not have come in the ring to attack him.
Would he even have said anything? Like, I didn't want him to fight, but he won anyway.
He won anyway. Well,
would he even have said that?
I think so. If it played out where, because he did knock down Andy Ruiz, let's not forget that, and he rushed in too early. If it was some knockdowns back and forth, I think he would have said something still. But if Andy Ruiz never knocked him down, I don't think it might not have been a big deal. It would have been one of those page 6 later on, 6 months later kind of stories where you do a little digging. But I mean, people are saying a lot of things about Anthony Joshua's involvement in his dad's involvement in his life and things I'm not going to get into because it's not really my business. Now, I do report things. And so that video about Anthony Joshua begging his father not to wreck Eddie Hearn, the majority of people think that something was not right with Anthony Joshua. But I will say, as you said, once you step in the ring, all that stuff goes out the window. When you're in the ring, it's all about the ring. So in your estimation, the 2-1 odds being the favorite, Anthony Joshua shouldn't be. They should be even.
Today, they should be even.
Should be even.
There's nothing that I've seen that gives him that type of edge.
Yes. And for Andy Ruiz, I will stand up for you, sir. You are the heavyweight champion, the WBO champion, and the IBF and the WBA champion, because no one now is really talking about that. They're just saying how Anthony Joshua got beat and the guy's out of shape and he's a Mexican guy out of shape and there's never been a Mexican champion. But they're not saying, hey, he's a heavyweight champion of the world.
He put in work.
He
performed when it was time to perform.
Yeah. What's 105-5, some kind of amateur record like that. So he's been doing this a long time.
He took care of business.
Let's
not dismiss he is the heavyweight champion.
Yes. Andy Ruiz is the WBA, WBO, IBF heavyweight champion of the world. Just because you may hear other videos of mine mainly focusing on all of the news coming out on the Anthony Joshua side, I am not discrediting Andy Ruiz. I do feel that it is now an even fight as well based on the last performance. But if Anthony Joshua uses his jab, then Andy Ruiz can't get that close to him to do the things he did. And so that's the reason why I felt. Now, you asked me in our video when we were covering the weigh-in, what were the chances? I said, if Andy Ruiz puts his hands on him, because I've seen Andy Ruiz before, he has a chance to win. And he got his hands on him, and voila. No one's giving him credit. They're saying it was a fluke, basically. This, to me, it doesn't kill the Deontay Wilder fight. It only adds more drama and mystique, because if he comes back and knocks out Andy Ruiz,
then if he were to beat Andy Ruiz,
yes,
I think he would have earned a shot at Deontay Wilder.
I would agree. And with Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder supposedly fighting at the beginning of next year, the first quarter, Bob Arum, they said something about maybe he'll fight him next, but I don't think that's going to happen. Even though it would be good to have like a November, December fight, I'm pretty sure Tyson Fury wants another tune-up against someone we never heard of. Now, they were saying a possibility, Big Baby Miller.
Okay.
Because his 6-month suspension would be over and he'd be eligible to fight. But
I think that would be a good fight.
Would Tyson Fury face him, though? I don't know.
I think from a business standpoint, Tyson Fury is looking for tune-ups. That would be a real challenge.
For business. You're right. It's a good business move. ESPN is heavily promoting Tyson Fury. And they're mentioning Anthony Joshua and how he was upset. And no one's really giving Andy Ruiz the credit he deserves. So here on the Justice League podcast,
with 2 G's.
With 2 G's, we are going to give you credit, Andy Ruiz. It's kind of even. It's a toss-up if Anthony Joshua can do what he needs to do, but there's a lot of pressure on one Anthony Joshua, and he may be the subject of another show on IMO Sports TV. We'll see.
We will see.